For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Coming up on the broadcast, we focus on a recent police operation. The Prime Minister denies making a particular statement. He also focuses on crime, and the St. Lucia Labour Party selects yet another candidate as the build-up continues towards the island's next general election, constitutionally due by July of 2026. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, NewsSpin, on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel and Power 97.9 FM. I'll be hearing from you later at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. The police very often come under tremendous public scrutiny and pressure. And in most instances, that is desired and that is also warranted. Because in a democracy, we need to analyze the performance of our various players in the development of the country, our various institutions. They are not beyond reproach and beyond scrutiny. The police, our legislators, or politicians in general, even the Prime Minister, National Security Minister, should not feel that he is above criticism, because you're supposed to be acting in the interest of the public. You're there to serve them, and we ought not to compromise our responsibility as citizens to scrutinize you. So very often, on this broadcast in particular, we have sufficient reasons to criticize the police in how they execute their duties. And we did so just about 3 weeks, maybe a month ago. So something transpired in one of the CDC buildings or apartments and that apartment located in the Conway area. And somebody was videotaping the police in action. I think it was well-known Betty Jean. And this incident apparently occurred sometime last evening. We will play you the clip verbatim, and it's not even a clip, because a clip is something that's brief, but it's about some 5 minutes long. We'll play it in its entirety so that you can analyze this for yourself. And my producer is saying, give me the impression he does not have it. Okay, we don't have it? Not as yet? Okay, we don't have it. Unfortunately, we will have to deal with that particular issue, very important issue, maybe later in the broadcast. So let me turn my attention to something else. And that is the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. And the Prime Minister appeared on the program Meet the Minister earlier today. And that program is aired on Rev Up St. Lucia. And after watching the Prime Minister, how he dealt with certain issues, in particular, the nation's worsening crime problem and the stewardship of the government over the past 4 years, you have to wonder whether the Prime Minister is facing the reality of the life that most of us are experiencing on this island. What it has to do with the high cost of living, the problem with regard to crime, worsening crime problem in St. Lucia, and in general, the behavior of politicians as far as being accountable to the people and recognizing that what they have is a huge responsibility, and they ought to account to the voters of this country. We repose their confidence in them, resulting in the final analysis, a government being formed, a cabinet being formed, and then ministerial positions are allocated to individuals, and they have to account. But what we have been getting is a lot of excuses. And let me reach a conclusion that going forward, I think we ought not to hear any politician accusing another politician of lying. Can we establish this? Going forward, don't accuse each other of lying, because the evidence is there. Either you all are misleading the people of this country, or you are just plainly misrepresenting facts, plainly trying to delude the people, or we have to conclude that you guys are a bunch of liars. That's probably a little confusing for a lot of us. But how can you trust those people when they tell you one thing today, and tomorrow they deny that they have ever made that particular pronouncement? So let's take you back into time. The Prime Minister in this infamous exchange with journalist Dale Elliott.
Matter of national security, sir. Are you aware of the contents of the impacts report?
That's not your business.
Matter of national security, sir. Are you aware of the contents of the impacts report?
That's not your business.
Matter of national security, sir. Are you aware of the contents of the impacts report?
That's not your business.
So let's listen to that exchange again between the Prime Minister and Dale Elliott. Okay, that exchange between the Prime Minister and Dale Elliott.
Matter of national security, sir. Are you aware of the contents of the impacts report?
That's not your business.
So let's listen to the Prime Minister today. during his appearance on that program, Meet the Minister. And he has completely denied ever saying to any reporter that that's not your business.
Have I ever told any reporter that that's not your business? And
We'll play it again, Mr. Producer.
have I ever told any reporter that that's not your business? And have I ever told any reporter that that's not your business? Have I ever told any reporter that that's not your business? And
Matter of national security, sir. Are you aware of the contents of the impacts report?
that's not your business. Have I ever told any reporter that that's not your business? And
So we establish. Maybe the Prime Minister just needed a reminder that he did say to Dale Elliott a few years ago during a press conference, that is not your business. Today, he denied having ever said that to any reporter in St. Lucia. Those of you who like to accuse yours truly of misinformation and disinformation and spreading propaganda and deluding people and so on, who is the one who is misrepresenting himself and the statements that he makes? Who is the one doing that? And the Prime Minister will have to revisit this, take the opportunity, and to say, I misspoke. I have said to reporters, Dale in particular, that's not your business. And I apologize for that. All right, some more political news. The SLP selects Dr. Shanda Lee Haraxing for Miku South, and she is the District Medical Officer for District 4, and that would include Deriso, Tiroche, Miku, and Monrepo. So Dr. Shanda Lee Haraxing is the St. Lucia Labour Party candidate for Miku South. And she will be going up against former St. Lucia Prime Minister and a political leader of the opposition United Workers' Party, Mr. Alan Chasney, who defeated another candidate, Gibeon Ferdinand, during the last general election. And Mr. Chasney won that seat during the 2021 general election by 646 votes. So once again, Dr. Shanda Lee Haraxing, the St. Lucia Labour Party candidate for Miku South. Feeling very sorry for Gregory Setanche, because this guy worked that seat. Up until recently, he was seen in a section of the constituency engaging in some kind of cleanup exercise. He worked hard. He really tried to impress those persons who was doing the candidate selection exercise. Obviously, they felt that Dr. Shanda Lee Haraxing is better placed to win that Miku South seat, since they're claiming and they have been boasting over the last few years that they will be attempting to win all of the island's 17 electoral seats. So they have reposed their confidence in Dr. Shanda Lee Haraxing. Incidentally, her mother, a little over a decade ago, maybe close to 2 decades now, Nurse Lilia Haraxing also attempted to win that Miku South seat, unsuccessfully at that. So let me hear from you right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Again, as we discuss the issues in the news and the matters of concern to you. And let me see if I have any of your messages. If you have sent any, somebody says there via WhatsApp, good day, Tim. This Prime Minister of ours, shaking my head. The man said he never told any reporter That is not your business. A quote from the Prime Minister that made headline news. What a wow. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's see if we have some more of your messages. Please bear with me. Somebody says there. Okay, let me try to see if I could get another message. Somebody says there. Okay. What we will do is to let's try and see if we can take a call right now via WhatsApp as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Good day, Tim.
Yes, sir.
Back in 1997, the people have something saying the leopard does not change its spots. Am I correct by saying that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Back in 1997, everybody wanted a change because we were kind of tired of the same thing, and then we were not. In fact, Kenny Anthony came, so people want the way he was sold to the people. You know, people saw something different for the first time and they wanted to try it. So the Labour Party decided to send Cassie Elias for us in Lakewood South.
Yeah. By the way, caller, how is he doing?
Hey, I have no idea. I seen him driving around off and on.
Okay.
So since he's driving, he's still doing good, better than some others.
Okay, caller.
I guess. So we decided, okay, we're going to give Mr. Elias a chance. Lakewood North did not change, but we changed at that time. Tim, at that time, I was still in my teens, but I was, like I've said before, I've always been following politics. Somehow I've always been fascinated with politics. We gave the gentleman a chance. I remember in Angers, we have a small playing field where it was heavily used by the young people in the area. We went to the gentleman, we asked him to, level up the playing field first because it was like a gentle slope. It was not level. For a whole 5 years, we troubling the gentleman to help us. He never did. And not just us, they never touched anything in Lakewood South, though we gave them the opportunity. When election was approaching the guy, by that time, I think weed eaters had just come out on the scene. Everybody was, Kenny Anthony came with step or whatever it was, and people was starting to get weed eaters all over the place. So we got some weed eaters and we cleaned up our field nice. It had the same gentle slope, but the grass was growing nice and we were using it. The gentleman came before elections with some graders, whatever. And the man exposed all the rocks on the field and he left it like that. I am telling you, people got vexed because there we were asking you for the help all the time. You never did. When election come in, you come in and expose the rocks and you didn't even put anything on it to fix it up. And, so we, and especially for us in Lakewood South, I can speak for a lot of us, we understand what it is with Labour and seats that does not really support them. They will look to win it, but they will not do you anything. It's like they're penalizing you for not voting for them over the years. They're doing the same thing with Miku. For 4 years, remember Gail used to remove the seaweed, truckloads of seaweed. For 4 years, they have not touched the seaweed in Mikud. The seaweed is literally turning into soil. So there's no beach in Mikud, but it's like soil. You understand? Not one truckload of seaweed he removed by the same jetty they set up there. I am saying this to tell the Labour people and to tell the people of Lakewood South, if you all have not learned, then you all will never learn. Labour does not want anything to do with UWP strongholds, but to just win it and to beat their hands on their chests and say that we win that seat. Gideon Ferdinand, my good friend, okay, he did not win, Tim, but isn't he working in the ministry?
Yeah, parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Tourism.
Now look at that. Some politicians can be so stupid. You not the MP, but you in the ministry, your administration won the election. The young people, the people coming to you in the community, instead for you to seek for ways to assist them so that your party will look good, you telling the people you're not their rep to go to their rep. Huh? That is the most stupid thing that I could ever see or heard from a politician team. Your government is in office, your party is in office. You understand? To add insult injury, he's working in the tourism industry. Tim, do you know at some point that we were doing our own medical to go to the cruise ships, send workers to the cruise ships?
Yes, it was taking place in
Do you know that right now, for you to go and work on the cruise ship, you have to go to Barbados?
Mm-hmm, I'm aware.
Because we have lost all kind of accreditation we had in this country, Tim. Spartan was one of the #1 universities around, health universities. Do you know the amount of Africans and same Nigerian they want us to go and they want to give us scholarships? Do you know the amount of Nigerians that used to come down to Spartan, Tim? That is why I've said that nobody will associate me with Africa. Simply because Africans don't like us, Tim. They see us as children of slaves. Okay? They see us as second, how you saying it? We're not the upper class. We second. We below the level. They see us as, children of slaves. They don't associate with us because I was among them, around them for quite some time, Tim. So I can say that. So this is where we are today. And they can send who they want in Mikud South. If Mikud South people will remember what they did to us, they will do the right thing.
Now, allow me to ask you this question. Allow me to ask you this question. Are you feeling sorry for Mr. Gregory Setange? I mean, he really worked hard to get the candidacy.
No, I will not, because he came to me personally, and I had a conversation with him. I told him who I was, and we had a good conversation. The day the Tixi, the young boy got shot, Tim.
Yeah.
The rep and myself was by the home of the deceased, talking to the family members. I don't know where Mr. Setange came from, but he came running down the hill. And then the same time the rep was talking about a vigil, he came, trying to, say certain things. And imagine that we spoke about having a vigil, and the night after we came from there, he go and organize a vigil with some Labour supporters, trying to go in front. Not just that, again, he went and have an interview. You were just same week we were there together. You went and have an interview saying how the rep is never in the constituency and claiming that he's a pastor. So for me, you starting a campaign, going to the people, asking them to represent you, and the first thing you starting on is a lie.
But let me ask you, Kolo, why do you think the SLP would have selected Dr. Harak Singh and not Mr. Setange? I mean, I think you're from the constituency, right?
There are lots of things that I can say to him, but I will not say it because I do not have money to pay anybody that will take me to court.
All right, okay. That will do.
But that is what it is. But the Labour Party like titles. So obviously the gentleman his title is not big enough. So one of the things I know he was willing to do if they did not select him was to go independent. But there's a lot of CIP money going around these days. So who knows? Mm-hmm. Some money may have gone somewhere.
All right, anyway. All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. 716-2026. Allow me to go through some of your messages. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, the Prime Minister is not entirely a fool. The contradictions he's displaying are just a manifestation of his arrogance and confidence that he can do whatever he wants, say whatever he wants, including lying, and the people just have to take whatever they get. And that's why also he will not retract or apologize because, again, he feels confident he does not need to. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. And somebody says there via WhatsApp. Why do journalists in St. Lucia fail or conveniently fail to ask ministers and officials pertinent questions and follow-ups? They always seem to come without any background information or correspondence on any subject when confronting on the public's behalf. This is the main reason why facts cannot be established in St. Lucia, and politicians always control the narrative and free to change it at any time. And let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. Please bear with me. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. We heard that Dr. Harak Singh will be the SLP's candidate for Miku South. However, as far as we are aware, she is an employee of the Department of Health with a public service contract and hence under the staff orders of the public service. So given the fake outrage of the SLP and their surrogates on Facebook and elsewhere regarding Elisha Narbert's candidacy and participation in United Workers' Party activities, we would like to know whether Dr. Harak Singh has resigned, and if so, when did she resign her job to allow her to overtly engage in political activities? And let's see if we have some more WhatsApp messages. Tim, can you please play when the Prime Minister asked about anyone who have suggestions about the crime in St. Lucia this morning? The Prime Minister denied. He never said so. We'll try to get that clip. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. I think the Prime Minister had a hard fall on his head. For someone who is in charge of running the country, he's very forgetful. Prime Minister, you are working for us. The country does not belong to you. It's the taxpayers' money that pays your bills. Make it your duty to answer every question that is presented to you. You are very rude, and please do the country a favor, resign. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out from you what is happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. Tim and NewsSpinner says there he's surely not facing the same spending as taxpayers. It's no problem with him. Commentary reads, the man said things have not been better in St. Lucia. NewsSpinner says here the tactic for them is to give study leave with full pay for teachers who are candidates. That way the teacher will get his full pay whilst being a candidate without being in the classroom. Another commentary reads, suffering from amnesia. Someone says, "Hey, Tim, what was Mr. Felano's response? I'm interested in Mr. Felano's response." Commentary reads, PJP and this crew don't consider Dale a journalist, and therefore there is no lie as far as PJP is concerned. A NewsSpinner says, "Hey, Tim, he did not lie. He just said something that was not entirely factual." A commentary reads, we want a bigger margin of victory this time. No change required in Miku South. Commentary reads, our Prime Minister sadly is unaware of his actions and words, or he conveniently forgets. How can a Prime Minister even utter those words to a citizen? Shake my head. Someone says there, the writing was on the wall for Gregory a long time ago. He chose to close his eyes to the obvious. Someone says they're great to see more young females coming into the political arena on either side of the political divide. In my opinion, it is time for a dynamic, vibrant female to take over the leadership of either of the two colors. Tim, and someone says they're in the chat room, giving insurance to farmers or when those farmers have no feeder roads to their farms. That's it for now.
Thank you so much. Amanda, still to come, we'll be having some more updates. Somebody says that, Tim, last evening, at or after 10 p.m., automatic gunfire at or after 2 a.m. was awoken by more gunfire in the distance. I don't know where in the Castries area. Mr. Prime Minister, bring in the RSS. And let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. What is somebody saying there via WhatsApp? Somebody says there, Tim, you need to play Finelon's response. Why are you making this individual an issue? We more focused on the people we have elected, okay, to represent us. Those are the people who are answerable to us. Let's see if we have a call on the landline. In the meantime, let me see if I have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says about the crime, I really don't like what's going on in St. Lucia. We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Okay, all right. Let me say this. Tim, but we know sometimes Philip JP in politics. Philip JP is like to us. You play the clip and telling the media man that that's not your business. Tim, I have a plan, and I'm saying it now on your radio. If you feel that what I'm saying when you hear it, if you have to cut me off, I don't have a problem. But I'm asking St. Lucian for us to do a demonstration against Philip J. and his cabinet, prevent them from going into the House of Parliament and to the building, wherever they have their office. Let us put a thing, to prevent them from going in so that they can step down. Because it's too much is too much. Too much is too much, Tim. We cannot do that anymore. I'm stressed about it, Tim. Whoever wants to do that, just call on me, call on the radio station, Tim radio station, and I'll be hearing you, I'll be listening. And we're ready for us to do that. We have to ask permission from the police, and then for us to do that, because Philip Chipley is already lying to us, telling the media man that that is not true. And Tim is playing the clip live and direct. What is that? How can we trust a prime minister like that? We cannot trust a prime minister like that. The man is like a kid with that Tim. Thank you very much, my brother.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. While it may be your right to demonstrate and to display your displeasure, we don't want anybody to be physically preventing anyone from entering the Parliament of St. Lucia or the government building to go there and to carry out their functions and so on. Let's not be violent in our approach. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Let's see if we have another call on the landline. In the meantime, I go through some of your messages. Somebody says they're via WhatsApp. Okay, I'll try to access this WhatsApp. Tim, the Prime Minister is a smart fella. He was more or less saying that Dale Elliott is not a journalist. We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Yes, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, I called in concern something happened on the weekend. And I called trying to call the whole week, but I don't get you. This weekend, I went someplace with my son.
You what?
I went someplace with my son. So, going out, his shoulders, he started crying. So, we don't know from because he's a child. He's 2 years, 7 months. So, he started crying. But after like 10 minutes, I see he wouldn't his shoulders, so he couldn't move his arm. So we never knew that the child fell because the child in the house. But we went. So reach at OKU. They tell us, well.
Caller, you're sounding a little muffled. I could hardly hear what you're saying. I don't know why you sound so muffled.
You hear me now?
Yes, I could hear you, but a little muffled. Anyway, continue.
Yes, so arrived at OKU. They said okay, so they said they sent us to and check on the vitals. So we spent a whole hour and a half before the nurse checked to us. So it was a carnival season, back and forth. Ambulance coming, off and on with stabbings, and they had like 5 stabbings, other fights and coming. So like the child is suffering a whole 3 hours already. I reached at 9 o'clock. And it's 12:30 and the child still suffering. He cannot see a doctor. You know what the dentist tell me? They, on emergency, when the ambulance come, is emergency, they have to go one time. So they cannot check on the child. Reach there, they have a next child. He was, I think, like a 5-year-old. He was cutting the coconut and his arm get cut. So two children, they suffering at the same time. So I went there, so I asked what's going on. They said when the ambulance comes, that's emergency, so doctors have to stop what they're doing and attend to emergency. Tim, how can that be possible when they're supposed to have doctors there for emergency when the ambulance comes? Because if my child is suffering right now, my child has to wait so that they can assist those criminals that causing how much fights in the country and then go back to my child. I come from the 3 o'clock since 9 o'clock I did it. And I left that hospital 3 o'clock without the child even cure. And I had to wait for still Wednesday just to go to the polyclinic instead to get a good x-ray. And young nurses and doctors they can even read the x-ray. They tell me the child whatever is very bad, so they have to make an x-ray to the right arm to so that they can balance the right arm and the left arm. And when I went to the polyclinic, I got those experienced doctors. The right Wednesday, the child got solution, and right now the child is good. And they're telling me, so I tell them, well, you're supposed to have things in place for when the ambulance come. So you'll have special emergency doctors for when ambulance come to him. You understand? And those operating right there, you have them on the patients that in the hospital. They tell me go to the Prime Minister.
The nurses ever examined your child?
They examined, but it's taking so long. Like they tell me they have to go back to check on the stabbings.
Yeah, because you see, caller, there's something called triage. That is when they would assess your condition, your illness, and to determine whether it is sufficiently urgent for them to make it a priority. I imagine in such a circumstance, such a situation, priority would have been given to those people who were stabbed because it's life-threatening, unfortunately, compared to what your child and the other child were going through. Maybe that is a situation.
He's bleeding because he got chopped from the cutters, and he lost the thumb finger, and he's bleeding. And then they just have the two of them there. They don't even assist them, and they tell me they're going to emergency because they have over 5 stabbings there, I tell you, and then blood in the hospital. That's so scary where they're not, and like they tell me to go and check, go and talk to my Prime Minister. That's the response that Mrs. gave me.
Wow, that's inappropriate.
Go and talk to my Prime Minister.
But caller, that's uncalled for, that's inappropriate, that's unprofessional as well.
Yes, I can understand that. Okay, Tim, that's what I wanted to say.
All right, thank you so much for calling. Do you have any more comments in the chat room to go through, Amanda?
Just a few. Give me a minute.
In the meantime, let me see if I have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Tim, the citizens are realizing and have accepted that the Prime Minister or the Philip JP administration has failed the country, and they are ready to vote them out. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes,
A
ma'am.
NewsSpin says there are no governments can prevent crime, but Jerry's a crime prevention minister. Make it make sense. Commentary reads, I was listening to him this morning. I almost had a stroke. He was just giggling. Can you believe he said he is building more schools? For who?
Yeah, because when he said that, he said that they're building some 7 schools, and I couldn't believe that. Because there have been people talking about a decline in the birth rate,
Right.
And a lot of schools are being closed and transitioned into other things. And the Prime Minister said they're building 7 more schools. Anyway, continue.
Relatively, the comments continues. St. Lucians are not hatching kids like guinea pigs anymore. A NewsSpinner says, Team, your next segment should consist of all the lies that Philip has told to the St. Lucian public. Another commentary reads, a desperate Flobo supporter, Wagwan stopped them from going to the Parliament building. All them people that are creating the crime problem in St. Lucia. Someone says that the Prime Minister does not lie. He just doesn't have a good relationship with the truth. That's it for now, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Hey, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
The general public aware of the amount of backlog of containers and also barrels that we have on the wharf?
No, we are not aware. So as we speak?
Because, Tim, imagine as we speak, right? You can order a barrel, and I could tell you by first hand because I'm experiencing it right now. And then the barrel that you order, if it comes in, let's say, for instance, the 1st of July, I am pretty sure I'll take a bet on it to anybody. And that barrel, you definitely not getting it within a month or 2 months' time.
Wow.
Tim, this is ridiculous.
And we're not even in the Christmas period.
And we're not even in that. To make matters worse, we know that the West Indies shipping is not at Calisac anymore, which is fine. But the backlog of barrels and containers, and don't get me wrong, I do understand, the very sensitivity of it because of the drugs and the criminal activities, especially now with the barrels, and we're getting a lot of stuff in them. But Tim, this is ridiculous. We need to do something. We need to stand for something because, yes, the dog was good, unfortunately, Tyson Balago. What about the scanners? We need to do something at the end of the day because what if we order those stuff to send our children to school? Food and what's your stuff will expire. That person's why I confront them in 6 months till a barrel is sure they can't get it. Can you imagine? And it's nothing of their fault. This is unbelievable, Tim. But that's my contribution for today.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. 4522979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. I think we have another call via WhatsApp. Hello. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello? Hello? Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Timothy. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am. Good
Timothy,
afternoon.
I was chuckling while you were listening to you because how are we? I don't know. Our Prime Minister, every time I hear the Prime Minister deny that he has ever said or scoff at a politician saying to a journalist or a citizen, that's not your business. I ask myself, is the Prime Minister delusional? Is he deliberately trying to mislead us? Or does he have early onset dementia or Alzheimer's or something? Because it really, really is laughable. And just as Amanda was reading the comments about the schools, I'm like, it is years since the population of St. Lucia has been on a decline in terms of youth childbirths. We have been asking, they've been, for certain different quarters, have been asking for more increasing in births, because at some point, some of us will not be able to get our pensions because people are making less children. And I'm hearing the Prime Minister saying pretty much they're building 7 new schools. I'm like, okay, it's fair enough. You could build your 7 new schools, but what will the purpose of, what's the end result? What's the end game of the 7 new schools? Because it should not be, definitely should not be academia based, because you know, who are the students going to be? Who are the students that are going to be filling those spots? But anyway, the substantive part of what I was calling about is the crime situation. You know, I was speaking to some friends of mine on the weekend after we heard of the last death. I think his name is Kem. I'm not sure what his name is.
Is it Kwame?
Kwame. I should know because I have a cousin named Kwame. I don't know why the name slipped me. But anyway, and we were talking about it. And then on Thursday, Spider on his show was speaking about it as well. The near-death experiences. Those persons who did not get killed. they were not recorded as homicides, as our Prime Minister would say. But the trauma is very real on the victim and the victim's family, you know. And it's one thing that we hear of the stolen lives and the lives that have been cut short, and the mothers who are crying, and the family who is in shock, and the communities that are still in mourning. But those victims of the gunshot victims, the ones who survived, we don't really talk about them as if they're forgotten victims. And the other question I want to ask is, that Kwame guy, what makes him so different that he spurred the Prime Minister and Alison Jean to break their silence on the violence that has been rocking our nation for the past few weeks, past few months, even. You know, this is the Prime Minister who boasts about being most ready and most informed. He supposedly knows everything about crime, in the world of crime, and yet he's still asking questions. And St. Lucia has had the most ministers involved in suppressing crime, rectifying crime, and all of that, and still we have no answers. But another thing too, Tim, that really caused me to pause is when the Prime Minister spoke about impacts. You know, the Prime Minister actually said that impacts was a brainchild of, and I'm paraphrasing here, of the previous administration. Timothy, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't impacts brought about by Kenny Anthony?
Yes, you're correct.
So how can the Prime Minister now again?
I suspect what the Prime Minister meant in his defense is that what led the situation that led to impact would have been Operation Restore Confidence between 2010 and 2011, Timothy, when the United Workers' Party was in government.
No, but we cannot infer that, you know.
Yeah.
We cannot infer that. We can only go by what the Prime Minister said.
Mm-hmm.
The Prime Minister said that the former administration is the one that brought up about impacts, and that is a lie. So it's either he has forgotten, he is willfully blinding himself, he is lying to us, or he's misleading us. Which one? I am going by what he said. That impacts is as a result of the previous administration. But Timothy, there's another thing that I want to talk about outside of the violent crime. You know the thing that we call revenge porn?
Mm-hmm.
At one point, it was really, really big, and I think it's getting a resurgence of revenge porn. There was a popular soccer artist that was involved in a case as like this. But over the weekend, Timothy, I had the misfortune of seeing a video of a young lady pleasuring herself and hearing young men comment about that young woman in the most denigrating terms. And talking about it's right for her, she did that and the third, because when I asked her for a little piece, she refused me. So her only crime is that she refused to open herself to the advances of certain young men. And so a private moment with herself and whomever else was leaked to the public. And I'm asking, why are we continuing to weaponize women in such a way? There's nothing that this woman did, nothing that these other women have done that we, whose lives have not been exposed, do not participate in, including the most pious and prudish of us. Because as long as you are married and you have a boyfriend, you have a husband, you will engage in some sort of sexual activity, right? The only difference is nobody is in our bedrooms with us to see that and to go out there and talk about it. So why should we take somebody's private moment and make it public? Have we not realized that this is a crime? Have we not realized that all of us have mothers? Some of us have sisters. Some of us have wives and girlfriends and child mothers, and we're doing this. You know, this is it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. And I just want us to remember, because if a bullet on the street corner or a leaked video on WhatsApp is normalized, what we are witnessing is systemic violence, political silence, and the slow erosion of what we have come to know as democracy. And democracy isn't about voting people. It's about justice. It's about safety. It's about accountability. And right now, we're living with two sets of justice. We're living with one set for the politically protected, and we're living with one for the politically expendable. And so I ask again, going back to my first question, what is the difference between Kwame's death and all of the other deaths that we have experienced? Who is protecting who? And how many more have to die or be humiliated before justice applies to everyone, not just the convenient target? Because the solution to halting crime, Timothy, believe it or not, the solution to halting crime, abuse, and betrayal will never be found in silence. It will never be found in scapegoating or selective outreach. It starts with truth. It starts with the Prime Minister telling the truth at all times. It requires courage, and it demands justice for all of us, not some of us. And until then, we're not living in a democracy, we're living a lie. And the Prime Minister has to start with himself. Please, Mr. Prime Minister, practice democracy and not telling tales. I know Timothy has asked us not to call politicians liars, but really and truly, when you do that in the face of obvious, you know, it's so obvious that we can debunk what you're saying, it has left us as the question whether you are deliberately trying to mislead us. And if you are trying to mislead us, you are telling a lie. Thank you so much, Timothy.
Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. We just heard there from the United Workers' Party candidate for Labrie, Laura Jean-Pierre. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. You'll be hearing from the Prime Minister in just a moment, as a question was posed to him regarding Tyson, and you will hear his response in just a bit. St. Lucia Kings is back and ready to retain the title of CPL 2025. Come with your flags and rags to the biggest party in sport at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. Ticket now on sale at SA of Wines at the Gable Woods Mall, all sell outlets, Steve Barber Shop, and Saul stations across St. Lucia.
Carnival just got crunchier with KFC. It's time to fat, win, and feast with the Carnival Crunch Box. For just $30, get a Big Crunch or Zinger sandwich, 3 crunchy strips, a dipping sauce, regular fries, a 16-ounce soda, and a biscuit. But wait, that's not all. Every Carnival Crunch Box gives you a chance to win big. Promotion runs June 1st to July 20th. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Do whatever that crunch you want. Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucelec customers are advised that from the 17th to the 29th of July, an island-wide meter replacement campaign will be undertaken. This is at no additional cost to customers. This is part of Lucelec's ongoing commitment to providing a safe, reliable, and efficient service. The new meters will ensure continued accuracy in customer usage readings and ensure that services continue to meet the highest standards. Customers with meters scheduled for replacement will receive a Lucelec notice at least 48 hours before. On the day of the replacement, a uniformed Lucelec technician with proper identification will undertake the work, which is generally estimated to take less than 30 minutes. To ensure a smooth process, customers are encouraged to ensure that there is a clear, unobstructed path to their meter. All questions or queries concerning this meter change should be addressed to the Lucelec customer service team at 457-4440 or the metering section at 457-4607. Lucelec thanks their valued customers for their cooperation, understanding, and support throughout the process.
Need more days of savings? MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Super Saturday of Savings has just been extended to Sunday. Take advantage of amazing deals. This weekend, MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt are offering you amazing discounts on selected items. MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Super Saturday of Savings has been extended to Sunday. Don't miss out on the incredible discounts and deals. See in-store, Facebook, or www.mnchomedepot.com for more details. Terms and conditions may apply. Better value for better.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or launcher. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
At La Clinique de Corps, your health comes first with St. Lucia's only advanced 1.5 Tesla MRI, delivering safe, radiation-free imaging aligned with World Health Organization and international standards. Not sure if you need an MRI, CT, or ultrasound? Our expert in-house doctors guide you so you get the right scan the first time. One accurate scan can change everything. Your peace of mind starts here. Get $50 off all consultations with our doctors now through July 31st. We're UHC approved and accept all major insurances. Visit us in Castries or Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps. Advanced care, local access, your health reimagined.
Essie, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Shivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vic Boutte. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home, we've got the mortgage. Starting your first business, count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
Hey yo! DJ Megs brings to you the ultimate brunch party, Shades and Red Cup edition. Watch.
I'm off your stand killer.
On Sunday, August 10th, Bayview Escape transforms from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Music by EJ the DJ, DJ Funton, King JV, LJ Fabulous, Yellow and Static. Tickets $100. Get yours at Cool Runnings Barbershop. You can also call or WhatsApp DJ Megs at 725-9487. Get ready with your crew and join us at Baywatch, Sunday, August 10th. Shout out to Bayview Escape, Cool Runnings Barbershop, Audioworks SLU, Rudy Full Exposure, Hookerland SLU, and Power 97.9 FM. Baywatch!
This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and it is called NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. I think what is overdue is an update from you, Amanda. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Timothy, a few comments from earlier. Somebody says here, on in St. Lucia, go to your Prime Minister, says the nurse. Don't you think the Prime Minister's response will be, I am not a doctor? A comment here reads, I have a gut feeling that St. Lucians are not ready for any change. NewsSpinner says the nurse's response to the caller is a testament to the frustration that is felt by them. Though it's inappropriate, it's necessary. A comment here reads, building more schools, this man has gone off his rockers. Who will fill these schools? They don't even feed the children and the school feeding. Okay, we don't know that. Someone says there the Prime Minister said he invests $1.5 million into Wasco every month, yet still people cry they never have water. NewsSpinner says there, PJP can't finish a hospital, but he building 7 new schools. This doesn't make sense. NewsSpinner says there even more reason why we need a Freedom of Information Act. Another commentary says, the people are not going to clear their barrels. Flaspa is constantly asking them to come and clear their barrels. A commentary reads, once you are a citizen of St. Lucia, anything the government does on your behalf is your business. A NewsSpinner says that when a leader is weak, all departments and responsibilities under his control fails. That is the reality. Nothing works well because there is no guidance, no direction. Our country is on autopilot. Someone says that the Prime Minister does not remember anything that he said and he does not know anything that his ministers are doing. So I would like to know what kind of Prime Minister and leader he is. Someone says their team schools for the Nigerians reverse psychology. NewsSpinner says their team, you heard about the loan that PJP took for Wasco to provide water for the people. I am not against the water for the people. Another loan and that's just passed like that. Somebody says there the Prime Minister wants to fool people so much with all the promises that he's making now that he's not thinking of whether the things he wants to do makes any sense. That's it for now, Tim.
All right. Thank you so much. We continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages, and somebody has promised me an exclusive statement, and that is coming up in just a bit, so please stand by. This is NewsSpin where you don't know what will happen next. All right, let me see if I could go through some of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Tim, good afternoon. I wish the Prime Minister would answer the question on crime. He never did while the nation waited with bated breath for an update on Officer 642 Tyson. He didn't have anything to say. Tim, can you believe that? Not a word, not a word. Minister of National Security, still waiting for the police. He does not even have what it takes to at least follow up with them, knowing that there is a possibility that this question would come up. I'll protect the minister on the Protect the Minister program with Andrew Asokole. It's called Meet the Minister, not Protect the Minister. The person continues, flashing mirrors, flashing mirrors. Okay, let's have the Prime Minister of St. Lucia addressing Tyson, which incidentally perished exactly 1 month ago. It was on the 25th of June that Tyson died under suspicious circumstances. Here is the Prime Minister.
What I know about Tyson is that the police reported that Tyson died in very suspicious circumstances. All I know about Tyson.
So there's no update, Mr. Prime Minister?
I have not got any other report from the police on that.
But you will at some point.
As soon as it's a style for him to tell me what I know about Tyson. You see the value or the misvalue of propaganda. What can the Prime Minister know about Tyson unless the police tell him? It just shows you what misinformation does.
Yeah, but also, Mr. Prime Minister, you have to meet him where he is as well. Huh?
Yeah. I'm waiting for the report from the police. That's all I know. It's very sad that Tyson had its demise under quote-unquote suspicious circumstances. It's very sad.
So, we're none the wiser as far as the death of Tyson under very, according to the police, under very suspicious circumstances. And this is the Prime Minister of St. Lucia and the Minister with responsibility for national security. Exactly 1 month now since Tyson perished. Let me see there. If I could go through a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. After living in England for 25 years, came back here to live, and Castries is a big ghetto. That is according to a WhatsApp message. Another person says, good afternoon. The nurses and doctors are fed up in the emergency room. Too many shootings and stabbings. They cannot take care of the law-abiding citizens that have heart, breathing, and other problems they were trained to do. If in the hospital, the criminal reign supreme. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says, Tim, before in Marchand we used to have 9 bakeries. Now we have less than 3. And the next business recently closed. And let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says that, Tim, OKEU is a special place. It's a whole lot of retirees and middle management in areas they have never worked before. A whole lot of misfits. This place needs a complete overhaul. Another WhatsApp message. Tim, it's not the Prime Minister's lies that bother me. It's the insult to my intelligence and the people of St. Lucia I find offensive. We have a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah. I would like to talk about the crime in St. Lucia.
You are on the air, sir.
Okay. I really don't like the crime that's happening in St. Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
The Prime Minister needs to take a step in this. Yes. The Prime Minister needs to make a meeting about this. The Prime Minister needs to do a meeting about this.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much. Please, as I've been saying over a century now, when you call, before you get on the air, turn down the volume of whatever device that you are using to call, to listen to the program. So if you listen to the program via your telephone, not your telephone, so I'm getting a little confused now, via your laptop, via television, via the radio, etc., please turn on the volume before you call. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air. Please go ahead with your contribution, caller.
Tim.
Good afternoon to you.
I'll tell you something, Tim. And that's a fact. You can fact check me, Tim. I'll tell you something, Tim. Today is Friday, Tim. Philip Joker Pierre. Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you so much for calling, sir. 452-2979. As I told you, you never know what to expect on this particular broadcast. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. 716-2026. Let's see if we... Amanda is trying to suppress a laugh. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message to go through there. Somebody says there, Tim, is the Prime Minister for real? Does he realize the buck stops with him? A foreign nation donated an asset to you, which through his own admission was killed under dubious circumstances, and a month later there is no urgency on his part for answers. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air. Hello?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon. How do you do?
I'm okay.
Peter Chico.
Yes, Mr.
Peter
Chico. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes, Tim. This morning, I just happened to tune on to your program, Meet the Minister. And I listened to the Prime Minister for a few minutes speak on, in fact, when Mr. Fenelon asked him, a caller called first asking him about I think it was where he said he had not insulted or said that he did not, that's not your business, where you replayed the clip.
Yeah.
That to me, Tim, is just comical. I mean, persons listening to this Prime Minister should look at this Prime Minister as a joking Prime Minister, first off. Second, Mr. Fenelon asked him to just speak a little on the initiatives for crime, because all the shooting that happened in the country and in his constituency. And could you imagine what the Prime Minister's response was? The Prime Minister's response was actually to say that the government had reduced VAT on plywood, so people could get a sheet of plywood to build a house. He also spoke about the distribution of food voucher. When you give people a sheet of plywood, you have not given them a place to build a house. How many sheets of plywood how much plywood can they buy? Rather than him making a pronouncement as to creating sustainable jobs so that persons could earn monies to build their homes, buy property, build their home, build a better life for themselves, he speaks about moving VAT on plywood. He speaks about giving food vouchers. He also mentioned that the kitchen of the school in his community, now, from what I know, he did a job on the Masha Combined School. He did a job on that. He did a job on the kitchen there. But Tim, those students go into the school, when they leave school and you cook for them in the kitchen, what they're eating between the time they leave school and when they come back next morning, the same food vouchers he's depending on, rather than this Prime Minister give persons the assurance that he's going to create an environment where people could work, get sustainable jobs to develop themselves, their life, build a life for their families. He's talking about food vouchers and a sheet of plywood. Tim, I am making that call to St. Lucians, particularly the residents of Castries. Let us find that St. Lucia Labour Party tree and shake these fruits, these St. Lucia Labour Party fruits, off that tree. Whether they're ripe or they're green, shake them off that tree because they have no benefit to anybody. Once a Prime Minister defending the situation in crime in St. Lucia, could talk about giving people vouchers and a sheet of plywood, we heading down the wrong road and something must be done. So I'm calling on all St. Lucians. You see what I heard there this morning, that 5 minutes of that Prime Minister I heard there this morning, that was the last straw. All St. Lucians, come out this election and vote resoundingly against the Prime Minister and his entire cabinet. Team, I thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Just so there from Mr. Peter Chico, the United Workers' Party candidate for Castries East. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message to go through. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. I think the Prime Minister had a... Okay, I think I've read this before. Tim, I'm so upset and disappointed with this Prime Minister. He knows nothing if something is important to you. Put yourself out to know. Don't sit idly and wait for the police to come to you. He does not give a rat's ass about the country, no people. He also said he knows who's committing the crimes. The police commissioner should bring him in to answer. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, good afternoon. I listened to Timothy's... No, I think that was maybe yesterday. Okay. Gonna ignore this particular comment. All right. Another WhatsApp message. Timothy, I thought that was PJP. Good Friday laugh. And we have another message to go through. Somebody says there, Tim, these governments don't care about anything or anyone right now. All they care about is their 3-point K view for their talk shows this morning and protecting the victory. Let's take a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello,
good afternoon.
Yes, Tim.
Yes, caller. Good afternoon
Tim,
to you. Uh-huh.
Our Prime Minister, Tim, how are Tim, for that Prime Minister, Tim? How are Mr. Prime Minister? You the head, Prime Minister. You the head. I thought the man will talk about you will put pressure on the police commissioner or somebody that is responsible for Tyson. The man come in and laugh when they ask him about Tyson. Eh? The man come in and laugh like he know nothing. My brother, you're the first person to know what happened. Because it's you and the lady they gave the dog to do the job. The man there as if you even care about that. Yeah, no, as if you ain't know. Well, find out, my brother. Put pressure for it so you could know, so you could answer the questions when they give you the questions, my brother. Get to know what happened to the dog. That dépition chien mort, post-mortem, il faut ça doit une élection. You let's get some more. I'm talking about things good in St. Lucia, things great, things, everything is perfect, everything is smooth in St. Lucia. Nothing is wrong with the country. Our Prime Minister, you could do better, my man. If you're gonna do that job, my brother, just be a man and just step down, my brother, or give somebody else. Even if you give it to Richard Frederick, even if he's the skipper. But do something. But we can't continue for my brother. We're tired, we're fed up, my brother. Good day, Tim.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much. Calling from Martinique, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Somebody says that, Tim, I honestly believe something is wrong with our Prime Minister. Mr. Pierre hardly speaks and not leave us either confused or awestruck. Lord, imagine Mr. Pierre remains as Prime Minister again. No fini. That's according to a WhatsApp message. And let's see there if we have some more of your messages. Okay. All right, so somebody sent me a statement, and we'll hear from that individual right now. He is Dr. Andre Matthew.
Good day, fellow St. Lucians. I am pleased to
Actually, it is Dr. Not doctor, sorry. All right, let's play the statement and then I'll tell you the person. Go ahead.
Good day, fellow St. Lucians. I am pleased to inform the general public that the St. Lucia National Congress is preparing to contest the upcoming general elections in all 17 constituencies. The party's symbol is the key, which represents the party's belief that governance should be focused on opening doors, creating opportunities, and unlocking human potential. Prepare to vote orange for change. SNC is the key. Gina Matthew, Communications Consultant for the St. Lucia National Congress.
Okay, so you heard there from Gina Matthew. So we heard news of a new political party, the St. Lucia National Congress, will be contesting all 17 seats come the next general election. If you're just joining us right now, we will play that statement again. Once again, Gina Matthew of the St. Lucia National Congress. And we just heard from her that new political entity or party will be contesting all 17 seats in the upcoming general election. And the symbol of that party is the key.
Good day, fellow St. Lucians. I am pleased to inform the general public that the St. Lucia National Congress is preparing to contest the upcoming general elections in all 17 constituencies. The party's symbol is the key, which represents the party's belief that governance should be focused on opening doors, creating opportunities, and unlocking human potential. Prepare to vote orange for change. SNC is the key. Gina Matthew, Communications Consultant for the St. Lucia National Congress.
So you heard it first on the most monitored talk show in the world, NewsSpin. We have a new political party on the scene, the St. Lucia National Congress, contesting all 17 seats in the upcoming general election. The symbol is the key. The color is orange, and you heard from the communications consultant of the St. Lucia National Congress, Gina Matthew. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. And somebody did ask me via WhatsApp, who is the leader? And I did ask Gina that question. And she said, soon tell. So they are not revealing the leader. But the person went on to say, she went on to say as well, not been Nathaniel, LOL, which better known as the Golden Dragon. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you, Rick Wayne. I took your call, but we have a commercial break coming up. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, Rick.
Can you call me after your break?
You want to speak after the commercial break?
Well, if you be so kind.
Okay, so we'll take the commercial break. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and it is called NewsSpin. We'll be hearing from Rick in just a moment. St. Lucia Kings is back and ready to retain the title of CPL 2025. Come with your flags and rags to the biggest party in sport at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. Ticket now on sale at SA of Wines at the Gablewoods Mall, all sell outlets, Steve Barber Shop, and Saul stations across St. Lucia. Still to come, more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and we'll be hearing from Rick Wayne.
Mark your calendars for July 30th and 31st. It's 2 days of sizzling savings you don't want to miss. Cashier Days coming to Europa Hardware. Get 15% off all your favorite cashier gear, wet and dry vacuum cleaners, powerful pressure washers, gas or electric, upholstery cleaners, and steam cleaners that make grime run for cover. Swing by Europa Hardware and score 15% discount during the Cashier Day promotion. Remember, it's July 30th and 31st. Write it down, set a reminder, tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't wait, don't miss out. Call us at 452-0763. Europa Hardware in Massac Rosalie. We service what we sell.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power lines. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucelec at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart, stay safe.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what we keep things flowing. We people, we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky, celebrating. Come, let your rhythm flow.
Carnival just got crunchier with KFC. It's time to fet, win, and feast with the Carnival Crunch Box. For just $30, get a Big Crunch or Zinger sandwich, 3 crunchy strips, a dipping sauce, regular fries, a 16-ounce soda, and a biscuit. But wait, that's not all. Every Carnival Crunch Box gives you a chance to win big. Promotion runs June 1st to July 20th. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
At La Clinique de Corps, your health comes first with St. Lucia's only advanced 1.5 Tesla MRI, delivering safe, radiation-free imaging aligned with World Health Organization and international standards. Not sure if you need an MRI, CT, or ultrasound? Our expert in-house doctors guide you so you get the right scan the first time. One accurate scan can change everything. Your peace of mind starts here. Get $50 off all consultations with our doctors now through July 31st. We're UHC approved and accept all major insurances. Visit us in Castries or Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps. Advanced care, local access, your health reimagined.
Need more days of savings? MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Super Saturday of Savings has just been extended to Sunday. Take advantage of amazing deals. This weekend, MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt are offering you amazing discounts on selected items. MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Super Saturday of Savings has been extended to Sunday. Don't miss out on the incredible discounts and deals. See in-store, Facebook, or www.mnchomedepot.com for more details. Terms and conditions may apply. Better value for better.
Hey yo! DJ Megs brings to you the ultimate brunch party, Shades and Red Cup edition. Hey, watch! I'm off your style killer. On Sunday, August 10th, Bayview Escape transforms from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Music by EJ the DJ, DJ Funton, King JV, LJ Fabulous, Yellow and Static. Tickets $100. Get yours at Cool Runnings Barbershop. You can also call or WhatsApp DJ Megs at 725-9487. Get ready with your crew and join us at Baywatch Sunday, August 10th. Shout out to Bayview Escape, Cool Runnings Barbershop, Audio Works SLU, Rudy Full Exposure, Hookerland SLU, and Power 97.9 FM. Baywatch.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. If you're just joining us, a new political party will be contesting the island's next general election, and it is called the St. Lucia National Congress, and it will be contesting all of the island's 17 electoral seats. The symbol is the key, and the color of that party is orange. Let's find out from Amanda what's happening in the chat room.
Give me a minute. There we go. Tim, a commenter reads, "Lock me out." Someone says, I blame Golden Dragon for all this. Another comment reads, "I am wondering what St. Lucians believe. This SLP came in with no development plan and derived none in 4 years. Reactive instead of proactive. We need that change. New party, my." Okay. Another commenter reads, "Another party coming to play spoiler. The electorate needs to remain focused and not be fazed by the distractions." A few comments from earlier. NewsSpin says here, "People don't take what the minister is saying as a joke. We are the ones being ridiculed." Another commentator reads, "PJP's a lazy man. He just cannot govern. He always taking the easy way out at our expense." A NewsSpinner says there, "That's the man's response on Tyson. What a pathetic excuse for a prime minister. Wow." A NewsSpinner says there, "A prime minister who knows nothing about what is happening in the country. It is like a principal who only stays in his office and only on in his office, and the rest of the school can burn down." Someone says there, "Some labours are not seeing that Castries Central is in a mess, not smelling nice." Commentary reads, "Scholar, the only thing you were missing is the leader of the opposition, and that would have been a perfect impression of the prime minister." A NewsSpinner says there, "The protected and the punished, crime, power, the death of democracy. Another murder, another leaked video, another round of silence and selective outrage. The Prime Minister, who claims to be the most informed, says nothing until this homicide. Why? What made this victim special? At the same time, a young woman's private video is leaked because she refused to cheat. She's mocked, shamed, and violated while her abusers walk free. The Impacts report implicated not just police, but politicians and businessmen. Yet only the police keep getting punished. Two systems of justice, one for the powerful, one for the expendable, until there's truth, courage, and justice for everyone. We're not living in a democracy, we're living in a lie." Another commentary reads, "What did you guys expect from PJP about Tyson? Don't you see the man is just reinforcing and validating Richard Frederick's statements? A shaky more. Shake my head. They murdered a dog." And that's it for me, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. 4522979. I think Rick Wen is on the line. Good afternoon to you, sir. You are on the air.
Boy, Tim, I don't know. I just don't know. May I start by asking you a question?
Go ahead, sir.
Do you think the vast majority of St. Lucians really think about the state our country is in every way? Do you think they think more of entertainment? Which one you think?
This one is a puzzle.
And what majority or what side do you think the majorities are?
Regardless
of promoters.
I think based on their action, it would have to be they're more preoccupied with entertainment. They're more concerned about entertainment. And that's based on their reaction. Now it could also mean
but that's all we have to judge by.
It could also mean that the psyche of the St. Lucians over the last few years and maybe a few decades is that they're not that vocal. They're not the kind of people that would agitate, and they wait for the general election to make their feelings known on the performance of the government of the day.
Well, that is a wild speculation. I'm not going to argue with it.
Both of them are wild speculations, you know.
Our training, our instincts as journalists, and so on, kind of pushes us to deal with what we see in front of us, even though we may have a couple of speculation ideas. But what we really would lean on is the evidence, right?
Yes.
I mean, we've had so many killings in the last few weeks. Did that in any way dampen the carnival spirit?
No, it didn't.
You think that's indicative of something, Tim?
It is, caller. It is, Rick. Because even before those killings which occurred in Marcia and the Wiltons, and other communities, I mean, what struck me is the lack of, any kind of meaningful response from the St. Lucian public to the murder of a pregnant woman, and her baby. Now, I mean, in most societies, that would shock the people. I mean, and I was thinking this morning, we did not even hear a statement, any kind of reaction from the Gender Relations or Gender Affairs Minister, Dr. Virginia Albert. And this is right down her alley. We have not heard from the women in the cabinet of the Prime Minister. We have not heard the spokesperson of the St. Lucia Labour Party, Lisa Jawayer, very often would call NewsSpin and would be so effusive on certain issues pertaining to the party and the government. On this particular issue, she is quiet. But here is comic justice. She has been endorsed as the St. Lucia Labour Party candidate for Castries South East. And when she appears on certain programs and called press conferences and so on, we'll have to ask her, I mean, really, what has she done of late in particular to show that she really cares about the people of St. Lucia, and in particular this pregnant woman who was gunned down, who died. Her baby died. And this is one baby who was either a good boy or a good girl. Yeah? We can't doubt that. That was a good boy or a good girl. That baby.
Now, Tim, that call earlier on, under normal circumstances, a heart-rending call, but under our circumstances, and under regular circumstances, would have been a heart-rending call, but under our circumstances right now, it's just a commonplace.
Which call?
That I am about to come to it. The guy who was telling you, and he was very muffled, so correct me if I'm wrong. He was talking about, as I heard it, a baby who was in some kind of emergency problem.
Yes, about 2 years and a few months.
2 years before, and he took it. Let me get it right. Took the baby to the hospital and was told it's an emergency.
The doctor was told that they had to prioritize. Where you had a number, it was during the carnival season, so they had to attend to a number of stabbings.
All right. So, in other words, we are inundated with emergencies.
Yes.
Good. Now, you would have a guess what those emergencies primarily are.
Because he said it.
I'm saying...
He said at the time he was at the hospital, there were a number of people who came in with stabbings. They were stabbed.
So there we go.
Yes.
So we know that the chaos is being caused. We've known it for a time, but now we have somebody actually reporting it. That I think even the Prime Minister has mentioned that. Actually.
Yeah.
He has talked about the shootings, the stabbings, and whatnot. He has mentioned that as what's causing the chaos and the jams or whatever. He has mentioned that too. I'm not going to go into that and the implications of his statement. I'm just saying that is what we have right now. And it could be you slip and fall, Tim, or me, when we have an emergency situation. And you notice the guy said they're taking care of criminals.
Yes.
Right? So they automatically assume that those people who were shot were criminals.
Or were stabbed.
Eh?
Yes.
Well, that is dangerous, isn't it?
It is, because
if you get shot, you're a criminal. Okay. But we take that in our stride. And then you hear Laura on a string of things. They were so fast I couldn't keep track, etc., etc. So where is the good? Where is the evidence of good people in the country? Where is the evidence of healing people in the country? Where are they? Where's the evidence?
Non-existent, Rick. Non-existent.
All right. And Tim, that is really, really depressing, It means even the quiet ones are quiet on everything, including relatives, including friends, including neighbors getting crushed, getting stabbed, babies getting killed in their mother's wombs. I mean, whether you care about politics or not, the humanity in you should be concerned about something like that. Your calls, not your calls, your chat room does not reflect that, you know. And I love your chat room because I think your chat room does reflect what's going on, how they feel. But those horrible things we mentioned, their babies being killed in their mother's wombs. And I want to say to you, remind you, Tim, yesterday, I called to again stress that there was a world of difference between children, between problem children, between children needing care and attention, and that kind of stuff, and killers. They are not to be put in the same envelope in any discussion. That is like chalk and cheese. Problem children, children in need of care, attention, and all that kind of stuff. That is one problem totally removed from the killers. But we have somehow gotten the nation to put them all in one envelope. So whenever somebody has done some horrendous killing, mass killing, we start talking about children in their homes and where the mothers. That is a con. The mothers of those killers are themselves problem Tim.
Victims.
And it wouldn't surprise me if you did a little research to find quite a few of the mothers of those killers, if you can identify the killers, the one or two, or even some of the people, the victims. You know their background, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so difficult to check. Small town, you also see them on TV. And we wonder why these people, is a good boy, because they really don't feel anything, Tim, because they are as much victim as their son who was killed. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So when more and more of the country is that, when the country does not even bother to call the police, when the country does not trust the police, the country does not trust the police, and there's every good reason not to trust the police. I am not advocating that we should not trust the police. Ideally, that is who we should turn to first thing, to the police. But we have very good reason, we have been given very good reason not to trust the police. When the government or a member of government will talk about not identifying what it means by we set policy, we're not actual policemen, that must be explained, because the Prime Minister is due every morning a report from the police of what happened the night before. He's due that. He cannot remove himself from a report from his police every morning about the state of the country that they are protecting. Am I making any sense to you there?
Rick, you are very much on point.
I just want to make sure, because I want to speak clearly, because I wanted to tell you yesterday, I called to talk about crime and that separation of problem kids and killers that we put in the safe. In fact, we don't even discuss the killers. We talk about the problem kids, the 12-year-old kids and all that kind of crap. And and that's a nice decoy away. But because I spoke about some elephantine jumpers on a wall, that is what made the everybody talking and calling and having a laugh and so on and so on. So, because if you listen to my voice when talking about that, I wasn't kidding, Jim. I was again talking about the grotesque, how grotesque we have become, what our tastes are like. We are in a situation now, I was telling somebody this morning, that if you could think of women, don't take me wrong, but if you could think of women as gazelles and elephants, okay, it looks like the taste now is for elephants.
But Rick, I don't think that is a pertinent subject, considering all what we are going through.
Think what?
I don't think it's a pertinent subject, considering what we are going through right now in our country where crime is concerned. And I think when you make statements like that, well, they serve as a distraction. It's just like the Poleon statement and the Marginware statement, and now focusing on how people look, in the costumes and so on. I see no relevance right now.
You see no relevance?
No.
Well, it seems I'm going to have to teach you what the relevance is. When you have become, like I always tell you, when you see a man in a pigsty and he's happy as the pig with him, you are only looking at a human form. But his psyche and his soul and everything else is that of a pig. Because there are places where only a pig is supposed to be happy. When you find a human being happier than the pig in the pig circumstances, something is very wrong with that guy. So what we are developing in this country is a whole bizarre kind of people, kind of supposed humanity that in no way acts like regular humanity. That is your connection. The kind of connection that doesn't care when you have a baby, a woman is cut up and her baby is in there. That is the kind of people we have developed, and you see manifestation of that in everything we do, in our entertainment, in the way we treat other people, in what turns us on, in what all those things. It is a country that has been allowed to go to the dogs. So we're behaving that way in every respect. You see the connection, Tim?
I still don't see the connection, but that is your point of view, Rick, and I respect it.
Always. I think you see the connection very well. I think you just want to be very, very careful, which I understand as well. If the population of this country has been taught in one way or another not to have regular human instincts, not to think, just dance on everything, anything that's there, jump on it. You get a picture of what she says, Laura, and put it on there. Normal people don't behave like that. This is a cuckoo's nest. This is a madhouse. We're living in a madhouse, so get the connections that a man who will do certain things that ordinarily is mad, and they're all doing it. That's the connection. Something is behind it. They don't just happen to him. There are the connections with our animal behavior that seems to have no limits. Beating up kids, killing pregnant women, stabbing them, abusing women. A woman can't walk in the boulevard without her heart is in her mouth. That is a jungle. I was about to say a zoo. It's a jungle. The difference between the jungle and the zoo is the jungle is wide open, whereas the animals are in cage. So if you can't find the connection, look for it. It's important that you find it. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much for calling, as usual. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And let me turn our attention to the NewsSpin question of the day. Come tomorrow, the SLP will be observing or celebrating its 4th anniversary in government. And the question of the day, what does St. Lucia have to show for 4 years of labor? What does St. Lucia have to show for 4 years of labor? And we have our NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, and I added something to it. St. Lucia's good friend, Nigeria, faces hunger crisis as food needs rise across West and Central Africa, according to the United Nations. Once again, our NewsSpin news of the day. St. Lucia's good friend, Nigeria, faces hunger crisis as food needs rise across West and Central Africa, according to the UN. I doubt we have any more comments to go through. Amanda, do we have any?
None from me, Tim.
None? Okay. I've taken an early break from the broadcast. And we have to conclude. Thank you so much for another week of watching and listening to the most monitored talk show in the world, and also for tolerating me. Here's hoping you'll have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend, and we will be back, God willing, on Monday afternoon, 12:30, with another edition of NewsSpin. Goodbye.